Like, I'm not hitting good. I don't feel very good. It was extremely frustrating to have something that was a little bit out of my control turn one of my strengths into one of my weaknesses. If I want to get myself in contention of the weekend, I need to play better than that. Look, this sucks. I don't want to be making these mistakes, but I know this golf course and I know my game. I'm capable of shooting a low score. I'm capable of making a ton of birdies. That is the nature of playing the Challenge Tour.
Typical carry distance with the driver.
310, probably. Depending, I mean, this week's going to be weird. It's so much wind, like everything's going to change. But generally, yeah, 310, probably something like that.
General thoughts on Cádiz?
Yeah, Cádiz was pretty interesting. It appeared it was going to be really windy on kind of Monday, Tuesday. Like the course is on the ocean. We had super windy days out of a different direction. I really thought it was going to be some like extremely windy kind of challenging week. And then kind of as the tournament came, we played in rain on the first day and then not much wind the rest of the week. So the course and the setup really changed a lot throughout the week. Yeah. These dead straight holes, like without wind, are the toughest tee shots. You get dead straight holes with a heavy crosswind. That's about as hard for me, like as tricky of a tee shot as I get. Dog legs, I don't mind, over corners, all that sort of stuff. Dead straight with a hard crosswind.
What are you trying to, like, what are your thoughts when you get one?
Well, it depends where the wind's coming from. Like on this one, it's more like 25 k's out straight out the left.
Yeah.
The thing that makes it hard is you have to aim towards the corner of the straight, so almost towards like an OB side.
Yeah.
Trust is that flight, the wind's going to bring it back.
Are you doing anything different? Like, are you making a different swing on it?
I'm trying not to. That's the hardest part, is that when you get a straight hole, is that you might be hitting a fade all day, all of a sudden you feel like you should hit a straight ball because the hole's so straight. So I'm trying to do nothing different, but it's just the commitment of starting it towards the corner of the hole, like out towards like either the fence or the tree line or whatever's there on that particular hole, and then letting the crosswind bring it back to the middle, which is tricky. I can deal with straight holes, I just don't love them. But yeah, it was good fun. It's a Seve Ballesteros design, two very different nines. Front nine very open, very scoreable, and the back nine's not scoreable either, but it's much more in the forest with a lot of deep trees and a lot tighter. There's what we call a plethora of trees, or in Australia, a shitload of them. But yeah, I mean, look at this shot. The pin's over there through the trees. I'm gonna have to hit some sort of snap slice after hitting what I thought was a very, very good tee shot. Even if you hit a perfect tee shot, you're gonna have a tree in your way. So, theme of the week.
How you feeling so far?
Pretty good, mate. Nice
Liking
day.
what you're seeing?
Liking what I'm seeing. Cool breeze. Good to get a bit of early competition under the belt.
Let me ask you a tough question. Do you enjoy caddying?
I do enjoy caddying. I understand how hard it is to like play golf and hit good shots. So
Yeah.
I think I enjoy that part. Sometimes I want to be playing, but just at the end of the day, I'm not. So I like being out here and watching good golf, and being in Spain's not bad.
Whenever there's wind like this, in the tournament especially, it's like your short game has to be so sharp, because no matter how good you're hitting it, you're always going to have to rely on your short game a fair bit and grind out a few pars, and then if you're hitting it well, roll a few in, you can make birdies, but you need something to glue the game together, you know?
Yeah. Feel like you let some opportunity slip there a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's all right. I can let them slip on a Tuesday. I can't let them slip on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a pretty fun place. Very different to a lot of the courses I've played in my past, but yeah, very fun.
Thoughts on like Cádiz as the town and Chiclana? You enjoy Spain? Speak Spanish? See?
Sí, puedo hablar español. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that I actually speak fluent Spanish as well. A lot of people that traveled with me to South America do know that I speak Spanish, but that's a little fun fact that not many people know.
Do you find doing something like this that takes your mind off the golf?
Depends who I'm with. It's more stressful when mum's in the back of the car. Yeah, I love Spain. That was my first time ever in Spain. Anytime I'm in a country where I can speak the language, it makes the travel much, much easier. Este, por favor, con bolets. So I think you might see a few clips of kind of me speaking Spanish to some people in downtown Cádiz or whatever. ¿Qué es mejor, King del Bueno o King del White?
King del White.
King del White?
Para mí.
Listo. Vamos con esto. Cádiz as a city is beautiful. What a historic town, right on the water there, some buildings that were just phenomenal. So I was glad we got to go in there one night, have some tapas and kind of wander around the city.
I'm going for a beer. Cerveza.
Part of the chat with my therapist last night was like part of my personality is like very intense, very like driven, hyper focused. Actually, one of the best things that I can do is do anything else. Yeah. Because I'm very good at looking after my career and looking after like my stretching, my practice, my recovery, my sleep, all that sort of stuff. That's actually good for me, more beneficial for me to do the rest of it. Take some time off practice, spend 2 hours instead of 4 at the range on a Wednesday, and actually go do something like this. Actually suits me a lot better, calms me down, and just it's a better mindset for me to perform it. If not, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me being too intense. Yeah. Seen it all, yeah?
Yeah, 10 minutes. It is done. Pub, back it up. Go back to the pub.
So we do a lap around the block and then go back and get Josh's beer.
It's just a joke.
Beer or beers?
Plural.
But yeah, Spain is probably, I don't think where else I've been. It's got to be up there. Top 2 place I've been in Europe so far. So yeah, big fan of Spain.
Josh, are you happy?
No. It's bigger than my head.
Yeah, it's always tough coming off a miscut the first week, and that's what was happening in Cádiz. I was coming off a miscut the first week at Panorama. So an important week for me. I think round by round, I started to build myself into some confidence, build myself into some momentum, which is super important.
It's a good score out there today.
Anything under par today, man. That's always a good score.
I think first day we played in the rain, so that was tough. And I think that kind of helped me in a lot of ways too, because it got me out of any technical mindset I might be in, got me out of any kind of being too thoughtful or overthinking things, because when it's raining and it's windy, you've got to play very athletically and you've got to play very instinctively, and I think that's a great way for me to play golf. And so that's kind of how I had to play that first round, and I got through the first round. What did I shoot? 1 under, I think, day 1. And so to kind of bogey at the last for 1 under. So I think being able to get that first round under par despite the bogey at the last was super important for me. I got some confidence in the putter, hold a lot of nice putts to keep that round going, and I didn't hold any putts the round before. So I think that progression is the big difference for me, was kind of starting to hold some putts, see them go in, and I knew that I could build off that. The ball striking wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be, but if the putter's working, I can build into that very easily. In the practice round, we had, I might get this mixed up, but I think we had an east in the practice round and a west for the tournament day, so completely opposite. The course played completely different. The holes that you thought were scoreable were no longer scoreable. The holes you thought were hard were now scoreable. Even easy holes might have played off the right, and now they're playing off the left, so your starting lines are like 80 yards difference. There's a lot of changes from the practice round to the first round. I thought the rough was much more penalizing in the practice round. Maybe that's because I didn't end up in those spots as much in the tournament, but the rough seemed like it was going to really eat some players up, and it didn't, at least for me. I didn't get myself into too many situations that the rough really bothered me. But yeah, the wind was the biggest change. To have it going from one side to the other and having tons of wind to not much was a big change. It's something that happens all the time, so that's something you just got to be ready for.
It's 2 under.
So what do you think he needs to shoot, really?
I mean, probably 2 or 3 under minimum to make the cut. But I think there's going to be some low scores out there again today. So I don't know. He's got to make some putts. It looks like he's driving it a little better. So give himself some more opportunities. It could be low. Could be very low. He's capable of it.
Open the second round with a double. What's going through your head?
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, the driver, I broke a driver the week before my first event and have backups with me, but it's that classic thing where
your backups just don't feel quite as good as your gamer. And I came in feeling as good as I've ever felt with driver, and just that backup didn't feel right for me. And I wasn't feeling confident in driver the whole week, and it was frustrating because it's my best club. And kind of that first hole is a tough tee shot. It's dead straight. The wind is straight into you. There's no side to that wind. And as a good golfer, I'm sure a lot of you know, when a ball starts to shape on a wind that's directly into you, it really starts to move in that direction. So to have a straight hole with a straight wind, you've got to hold that ball very straight or choose to start it on a very wide line. I tried to hit a straight shot, heeled it, went out of bounds. First shot of the day when I'm already outside the cut line.
Out of bounds? I hope not. I was hanging on for dear life. Not the stop I wanted. It's okay.
So to be kind of, I think, 1 outside the cut line to then go 3 outside the cut line immediately, it puts you back up against the wall. But I think that's one of the things that I've matured a lot, and that's one of the things that I've worked on a lot since I've been injured, is the mentality and stuff. So I didn't panic, continued on.
Without fear, there is no bravery.
Birdied the second, which kind of started to get me moving in the right direction. Birdied the third. Great par save on 4.
Double, 2 birdies, and kind of a clutch par after he chunked a wedge.
It's going to be a day. It's going to be an interesting
It's
day.
up and down, isn't it? Jesus Christ. I can't believe he made that par.
It's going to be a long
I
day.
thought it was about to go down, but I mean, he's putting it pretty well. Just needs to put it a little bit closer.
Birdied the 5th as well. So I think that really started to get me moving in the right direction. I started to see, okay, I can make mistakes around this place. It's okay to make mistakes around this place.
When this round started, I questioned my entire reason for being out here when he made a double on the first. I was like, fuck, is this my fault? We talk too much. Yeah, no, he's really bounced back. He still needs to make 4, 5 birdies and no bogeys. So let's see.
And I think that freed me up a lot too going forward in the tournament, knowing that I don't have to play perfect golf around here. Yeah, like I'd like to, but the mistakes aren't as important because I know I can work them back.
We actually clubbed down from a 2-iron to a 3-iron. The 3-iron is just easier to turn over and hold the wind a little bit. Wind's down off the left. The 2-iron just hasn't really been setting up down here. You know, it gets into these trees and confidence with the 2-iron is not great. So 1 club less, turn it over. Bueno.
Birdied 8, which I believe got me to 2 under for that 9 holes. Nice par save on 10, birdied 13, and then birdied 16. So yeah, a lot of good birdies there. One for one with Ken.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Very happy with the way I got it around, especially after the start. But yeah, my swing, like I'm not hitting good. I feel great over the putter. Just all my long shots I don't feel good over, so I got to go to the range.
Now,
Got to go to the range now.
fucking grind.
I got to work on a couple things because yeah, as much as that was really good today, if I want to get myself in contention of the weekend, I need to play better than that. My driver is my best club and it's my worst club right now, which is annoying. But I mean that's golf too. 4 under, and I feel like I don't have a driver and I've got minimal iron shots.
And a double on 1.
And double on 1, yeah, would be first shot of the day. So the mental effort to recover from that and stay in it and shoot 4 under was fantastic. So.
Right, do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Let's go. To shoot 4 under that round, to make the cut after starting with a double, I was proud of myself for that. That's a good effort mentally for me. Kind of gets that momentum just flicking the other way a little bit, which is super important, and gives me a chance the last few days to build on it and have a good weekend and have a good finish ultimately. So yeah, super pleased to be able to do that after that start.
I mean, he's playing good, just like not getting a whole lot out of the round. It's sort of why like these birdie putts late, like on the last hole 14, are kind of important to, you don't have to make them, but it just gives yourself a little more momentum because he's playing good. If you don't get much out of the round, like you feel a bit flat, but a couple good tee shots coming home. It's a tough finish to a couple good birdie looks, and you never know, take it to Sunday. Yeah, 160. Pin sort of back right-ish.
23.
Yeah, green's 27, so 4 behind it. Where is the pin? Is it like not moving or something?
You see like there's like leafy small trees?
Yeah.
It's right in front of
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're just 45.
Yeah. So we get 10 to jump, a little bit of release.
Yep. Good? Yeah, it sort of jumped, but like...
No carry, but
yeah.
the top spin.
No carry.
Pretty much every time you made a double, you bounced back with a birdie, or almost the whole week. If there was a bogey, there was a birdie after. What's the mindset?
There's just no panic. Once I realized that second round proved a lot to me, that I'm capable of making a ton of birdies, capable of holding putts, I'm capable of playing a lot of good holes. So there was no panic. It was just like, yeah, look, this sucks. I don't want to be making these mistakes, but I know this golf course and I know my game. I'm capable of shooting a low score. I'm capable of making a ton of birdies. Once you're settled into that mindset and you know that those things are possible, it's a lot easier to just kind of get your frustration out, do what you need to do, but then come back in and just stay patient with the round. And I think ultimately birdies only happen when you don't force them. I was doing a good job of not forcing them, and I think that's why they happened pretty quickly after any sort of mistake that I made, and why I was able to recover so fast. And recovering fast is something that is so important to momentum and so important to confidence for that round, but something that you absolutely cannot push. And that's a very hard balance, because you know how important it is as a golfer, but you also know how detrimental pushing for that is. And that goes against human instinct. If we want something, we normally go try and get it, and it's quite the opposite in this scenario.
What happened on 9?
Made a double bogey. It's when you have 2 more than what you're supposed to have. You're meant to have a 3, but I had a 5. So it's called double bogey. Good insight.
Yeah.
It was frustrating in Cádiz because the driver is just a club that I kind of base my whole game around, being able to drive the ball far and drive the ball straight. And that's something that I've been doing so consistently over the last 6 to 8 months. It was extremely frustrating to have something that was a little bit out of my control turn one of my strengths into one of my weaknesses. And I think that's where you saw a lot of the frustration, is that I have now a club that I've been using so well, to now I have a club in my hands that I'm not super confident with. And for the golf nerds out there wondering kind of what the difference was between my old one and my new one, is I have my driver set on more loft and on an upright setting, so it appears kind of closed. The reason I like that is because I like to pull the ball and then hit a fade that comes back. This new driver set up more square to even a little bit open. The exact same settings, the exact same head, nothing weird about it, just this head doesn't look quite the same. I'm over the ball and the face looks open, I'm on a left to right wind. It's very hard for me to trust.
think where you see a lot of that frustration, a lot of my doubles came from was bad drives. And that's not something I've been used to doing over the last little while. And so to feel like I'm hitting bad drives with a club that I'm not super confident with was just starting to annoy me a little bit. That is the nature of playing the Challenge Tour and smaller tours, that it's very hard to get a new driver or a perfect fit to you super quickly when you're out in a more remote part of the world. So it's just something you got to deal with, you got to suck up. But yeah, that's where the frustration came out of, because a lot of those could have been avoided with good drives.
I said if you hit it like this, the first 3 rounds, I think you'll be winning.
Final thoughts on the week? Spain.
Yeah, I think Spain's a beautiful country. It's a country that I'd like to get back to. It's somewhere that I've never been. I speak the language. The people I thought were awesome. I'm not a big fan of them having dinner at 10 o'clock at night. I would like to change that if I could change one thing about their country. But yeah, it's a beautiful place. The beaches were nice. Top 20 finish. Not my best, but certainly something to build on going forward. And you take it. I start to move up on the Challenge Tour money list, or at least get myself on the Challenge Tour money list, which is important after a miscut, and there's plenty of opportunities to come. So certainly a start, and we look to do better and better than that going forward.
And how did you find me following around? Like,
yeah, and first week having the camera out with me, I was a bit cautious about it. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I've never done this. Chris did a great job of requesting permission from the tour, talking with the tour to see what sort of access he would have, how intimate he could get the shots. I think he did a great job for first week. You might see a little bit of shaking on there. He wasn't quite used to the camera yet, but yeah, no, it was phenomenal. He did a great job. He got some cool stuff, which I know that everyone will enjoy. Some great interactions between Josh and I, Josh being my caddy, some good interactions between myself and Chris, some nice interviews after the round, a lot of great shots, a lot of great putts. And I think we'll continue to refine kind of the production of it. But I think there's a lot of cool stuff that came from this week in Cádiz, first week with the camera, and you'll see more and more of it coming up.